Living in the West right now feels like you play a video game on a hard mode. You know, you're thrown as a beginner, as a noob, in a video game that is very hard to beat. And in the previous updates, in 2008, 2020, the updates made the bot you play against on the hardest level harder and harder to beat. And they silently removed the medium and the easy level you can start on. So now it doesn't even matter which skill set you have to play the video game on hard mode, close to the zero. And most of us do that. But most of us lose and get beaten up in this video game, and the consequences seem to be severe. So yeah, the Western world has become a video game that has been played on the hard mode. And if you're not strong enough, if you're not fit enough, if you don't have the right connections, the right network, the right people around you, and if you're not a little lucky, to get a chance, to get a shot, you're gonna most likely fail or struggle to keep the zero above the water, and you're gonna try and you're gonna be agonized your whole life to not be in the minus for too long. But well, that is what I'm trying to say. If you want to beat the game, say you play FIFA and you put legendary mode, which is the hardest, it's like the god mode, it's very hard to beat. If you play FIFA on the legendary mode as a newbie or as some medium skilled player, you're gonna most likely need some software, some cheats, some tactics to beat the bot. And if you just use the introduction tactics, if you just read the manual before playing the game and be like, okay, I'm now ready to take the legendary bot and I'm ready to win, well, you're gonna be most likely left disappointed pretty quickly, and you'll realize that it's impossible to beat the legendary bot right off, or without using any script, or only by reading the manual script by the developers. Developers are a little corrupt, and they don't really wish that you beat the legendary bot right off in this society of ours. So what you gotta do, just like in FIFA, you gotta install some cheats. You gotta install some softwares. You gotta learn some tactics to play this game as best of your abilities as you can, to be able to have a chance in the game, in FIFA, also in our society, in the Western society, to be able to, make some buck and, try to put yourself on the right foot and take off from there. If you read the manual of our Western society, if you read the instructions of how to play the game, they'll tell you that you probably need to get a job, you probably need to finish high school, get a degree, do the classic, the old-fashioned manners, and land a cool job, and eventually, build up enough money, or in the video game, build up enough skill to be able to beat the legendary bot by yourself. But we know that it's not true. We know that playing this game of life, in this capitalistic era, playing the game in our Western society by the instructions that have been given to us through every social structure there is in our society, we know that most likely it won't work, just like it would not work in FIFA, just like if you try to beat the legendary bot by reading how the game should be played online or in the menu in the video game, you will likely lose by many goals difference from the bot. That's the way it's gonna happen in real life as well. So why not think outside the box? Why not try to install, as I said, some software that is gonna help you beat the legendary bot? Why not open your own fucking lemonade stand? And that's the idea behind this video. I really wasn't planning to start this video by using this metaphor, this parallel of the video game world and our world, but I think it makes sense. It makes sense because if you've ever tried to beat the legendary bot on FIFA without having much experience in the video game, you'll lose like 5-0 easily. You won't even make a goal chance in the first place. It's the same in real life. If you have relatively poor parents, if you come from a relatively poor background, if you don't really have some specific valuable skills, you never had a chance to learn them. And if your parents don't have the right network, or if you don't build the right network in your early 20s, late 20s, whatever, you'll find yourself in the guts. You'll find yourself in a bad spot very quickly without really ever having a chance in this Western society. That is the comparison I'm trying to make. That is the pattern. Those are the parallels that I'm trying to connect here. And I think for every sane person, this parallel and these connections are very clear and they make sense. So that is why you need to open a lemonade stand. That's why you need to try something outside of the box, something that is probably not gonna work 100% of the times, but as long as you keep trying, eventually something will work out. You know, you will download one software, you'll download another one, you'll download the third one, and eventually you will find a software good enough that is gonna be able to be the legendary bot on FIFA easily. And that is why you have to keep digging, you have to keep going, and eventually you will find a software that is gonna help you figure it all out in this Western world, in this very uneven world, but you know, it's not gonna be fair ever on earth. So that is not something that I would advise you to seek, because fairness and evenness is something that is really not made for this planet, I feel like, for our society, especially for capitalistic society that is very competitive and very work driven and so on. So what would you try? Which software would you want? Or which software do you think is worth installing in your brain to keep having a chance day after day in this world, in this system? Well, I don't know. You have to figure it out yourself. You have to try different things, different, business models, different strategies, different ways, maybe investing, maybe you want to try some online business models, maybe you want to try some local business model, something that would be beneficial for your close circle, you know, for your small town if you live in a small town, or you figure out something online and you make a big buck, you know, selling something, whatever it might be. In whichever situation you find yourself, just be real with yourself, be authentic, and express that something within you that is unique, that is one out of one. Don't try to copy other people. Don't try to, sure, copy good ideas, take advice from people who have made it or who are just objectively smarter and more experienced than you. But then again, use your head and your own ambitious thoughts, your inspirational feelings, and eventually you will get there. I just believe so. And even if you don't, because of course chances are pretty much always against you, the odds are not for you in this case to beat the system. But eventually, if you beat the system, then you'll be very happy with it. You will then find the right software, the right cheat code to use in this society, and then you'll live a relatively fulfilled life. I think you'll live a better life than working for somebody else. And that is what stands on the manual instruction on how to play our video game of our Western world. The manual says work a job, but working a job will never give you a chance of developing a skill that would allow you to beat the legendary bot. A job will only keep you at a 0-0 score, and then it will become 0-1 for the bot, and then you're gonna struggle and eventually it's gonna be 0-1 for the bot at the end, because his salary will probably not be able to keep you afloat for way too long, or for long enough for you to live comfortably. And that is the message, boys. That is the message. Open your lemonade stand, do your shit, do your thing. Life is too short. Life on Earth is very weird. There is not a specific order in which you have to do things. The manual is old. It's like if you go to a restaurant and they still have the prices from the 80s on the menu, but when you have to pay, The prices are from 2026, so they will be probably like 20 times, 30 times more expensive. It's the same. It's basically the same. This menu that they're giving you to be the legendary bot has school, has degrees, has fucking 9 to 5s on there. These tactics will not allow you to beat the boogeyman. So that's why you have to use your own head. You have to try at least, because if you don't try, you'll never know. You have to fuck around to find, and I hope that you'll figure it out. So yeah, the message today is very clear. I think I've said it all. You just have to fucking do something that you feel is the right thing to do for you. You have to follow your gut feeling. You have to follow your ambition. You have to stop listening to voices, and you have to try. Maybe you'll fail, I don't know, but at least you'll know. I'm saying this not because I'm some online guru, or not because I've made $1 million in a year or something like that. Not really, not at all actually. I'm also somebody just like you who is still struggling to find the right solutions to these problems in life. And it's probably gonna take me very long time too. It's probably not gonna be a quick fix because, you know, life is a marathon. It takes time to find the right tools to solve the big problems of our existence. But I'm trying as well. And I'm telling you for a fact that the things I'm preaching here, the things I'm saying, the message I'm trying to spread is not only on this video. I'm not only saying this in front of the camera and then I'm not going back and doing exactly the opposite of what I'm saying here. I'm actually doing exactly what I'm saying here on the camera. You know, I'm gonna quit my job. I'm actually gonna try. I'm gonna go to another country. I'm gonna try to start a new life and maybe fix it there, even though again the odds are against me, but I don't give a fuck because I would rather try something that is hard, something that is uncertain, but something that feels right and feels real than work this gloom and doom 9 to 5 until 70. So those are my thoughts. Very straightforward point today, very clear instructions I think, and I wish you all a very nice sunny day in the month of May. Have a nice one.